You know, when you're on that last set of heavy squats or the last 5 minutes of your boot camp class and you know your form is breaking down, but you just want to get through it? Hey, spoiler alert. You may finish that set or class unscathed, but take it from me, a fitness professional, that form breakdown will lead to injury. That's why people hire trainers or join gyms with great coaches. They could spot your form breaking down in the moment that you can't and just when you need it most. Running a business, it's like an emotional boot camp class, and it's nearly impossible to see your business and form breakdowns objectively. Welcome back to the Fitness of Business. I'm your host, Leslie Boyce. In today's episode, we explore why seeking out objective feedback and creating space from your business doesn't mean caring less about it. Of course, you care. It's your baby. So, don't you want to give your baby the best opportunity to thrive and grow? My guest today is Courtney Greth, licensed massage therapist and owner of Recenter Therapeutic Massage in Denver. I've had the pleasure of watching her business grow and thrive because of her open minded approach to objective feedback. Every episode kicks off with a listener question in a segment called Hey Coach. So, what would you ask if you had a business coach in your back pocket? You can submit your questions at Leslie at thefitnessofbusiness.com.
Hi, coach. My family and friends love to give me business advice all the time, and they mean well, but none of them are entrepreneurs, so I really don't think that they get where I'm coming from. How do I find the people who will give me real, qualified, credible feedback? And how do I find my people?
Hi, Courtney.
Hey, Leslie.
How are we actually have to jump on this like we jump on all of our Zoom calls.
Little shimmy here, little shimmy there. Shoulder shrug
Like, when
here,
did we
shoulder
start
dip
that?
there.
We started that like we have this telekinesis. Is that a thing? Is that what I
Yeah,
that
yeah.
yeah,
It's just the field of connection. Here we are. It's our own
Here
little
we
bubble,
are. It's
our
our
little
own little
dancey bubble.
bubble that
Yeah.
probably everyone's like, "Okay, yeah, 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 get to the stuff."
And let's get to
Uh,
it.
okay, wow, wow, who is running the show here?
Well,
Um
I feel like I could have submitted this question.
Mm.
Absolutely. I'm the first person in my family to start a business. And so
So
I was
tell me.
oh, yeah, and I am huge on external processing and fielding questions from my closest friends, my family members, first.
Mhm.
So, because they've known me the longest, they know me the best, and I typically do confide in those people first. And to what the callers shared
Mhm.
that sometimes the advice that they do give isn't isn't very entrepreneury or it's not very business forward,
Mhm.
growth oriented. It's more sometimes it's more rooted in fear or survival because they just want me to be okay financially.
Uh-huh.
And I'm coming from a place where it's just so much deeper than that. Yes, it is about safety and longevity, sustainability, all those great things to run a business. But it's all the emotional aspects. It's sometimes the more expanded, ethereal, spiritual aspects about running a
Yeah.
business that a lot of people don't get. Because if you want to go on a personal growth journey, start a business because you will be again, because it'll be you versus you the whole time, especially if you're
The
a
whole
team of
time.
one. Yeah. And I'm a team of one. I'm a solopreneur.
Yep.
So while family and friends, they give great advice and great support. Over the years, I have learned to not go to them first. Go to
Mhm.
myself first. Get quiet, take a minute, brain dump, like pen and paper style
Yeah.
in the olden days,
Yeah. Do they
pen and
still
paper
make those
style.
things?
So, yeah, just brain dumping and stream of consciousness on pages and pages.
Yeah.
Um, and then I kinda pick themes out from this giant word salad that I just created and
Oh.
see what questions I have. What advice am I needing?
Yeah,
Because
like, where am I actually stuck versus what did I just kinda need to work through a bit on my own? And where do I need to find someone to help me get through some sticking points?
Correct. Yeah. It's more the writing down everything, brain dumping is more to process the emotions behind
Mm,
a lot around business. And
yeah.
then I lean on other massage therapists in my community.
Mhm.
I lean on people in adjacent fields.
Hmm.
So mental health therapists, personal trainers, physical therapists, physicians, um, yeah, beauty professionals like estheticians, any any service-based work. I would love
Mhm.
to connect with those people and get together and ask questions, see
Yeah.
if they are experiencing the same challenging things, ask for advice on what they're doing. But most
Mhm.
importantly is hiring a coach
Mm.
to
Oh,
be I know it's kind of I know the Fitness of Business
that's such a good
podcast
idea. Yeah,
run
it's
by
such
a
a
business
really good
coach.
idea.
When I first started my business back in 2019, I had no idea how to run a
Mhm.
business. I think in massage therapy school, we had a 2-hour business class one day, and it was about the importance of discounting your services at first and making a website. I really don't remember much more content than that at that point. So I really had
Wow.
no idea how to market, how to network in an efficient,
Mm.
heart-centered way. I
Yeah.
didn't know to reach out to people in adjacent fields who are doing the same service-based work that I I had hopes and dreams of doing.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so to cast a wide net with communication is essential. Even
Mm.
better if you join a networking group,
Yeah.
with just like-minded people who are in a similar spot of business.
Mhm.
Well let me just say this. Similar spot of business, yes, but I'm thinking of our Ignite group. We were at all different phases in our businesses, and
Mhm.
I learned so much every single time from every single person.
Yeah.
So there
Well,
is a lot of juice there.
I'm really glad you I'm glad you brought that up, not as a plug, but I appreciate it. I'm I'm glad you brought that up because, like, some of the advice I have been receiving, and this is like all along, but I'm just, kind of gonna pull from my most current or recent experiences as I, evolve my business, especially with the podcast. And I'm launching some newer coaching services where my format is changing a little bit. And I always love having a group coaching option because I think there's so much value in learning from other people and the support and the community and the perspectives and all of that. But so many people who have not done what I do have suggested, well, I think it's really important that you get people together who are, either in the same industry or in the same phase of their business. And I actually have started to push back because my experience has now proven that I actually think there's so much more value, so much more to be gained by intentionally surrounding yourself with people who are coming from different perspectives and maybe they're new to business and so they have all this energy and they're more optimistic and there's a place for that too, but maybe they can learn from you because you've been in it for 6 years and you have a little bit more of a realistic approach. So I think that it is crucial that when you receive feedbacks, solicited or unsolicited, you have to weigh that against, but what is the data showing and what is the feedback that I've been able to collect along the way and know that that is, incredibly, valuable.
Mhm. It's quite expanding to be in the presence of different people because
Mhm.
what perhaps I had a problem with, that's someone's problem they had 10 years ago, and maybe it was barely even a problem, and they had this
Yes.
really easy, simple way of overcoming that obstacle. And now in conversation with that person, I can just sit back and be like, "Whoa," like, that this problem that I'm dealing that I'm that I have in front of me, the solution is very simple.
Yeah, that I'm catastrophizing, and I
Mhm.
just had never considered that as a solution.
Right, right. It just
Yeah.
can give you this really wide view of business. It there's so much there. There's so much there of, just a bigger perspective. You get a bird's eye view. You get more of a view of your business. Like you said, it's just a little baby. Like, you
Yeah.
have to take care of this little vulnerable child, and
Mhm.
that has needs from day to day, and to lean on communicating with others and doing the brave thing and reaching out and making the first contact.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so important.
It's so important.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to just talk about how we met, which is gonna sort of lead me to my next question. But so Courtney, I got referred to Courtney when I was pregnant in 2020 as she was doing house calls for massage and specifically for um prenatal massages.
Mhm.
And so she would come to my house. And at the time I lived on this like tri-level and she would lug her big massage table with the, pregnancy pillow pad thing along with it all the way upstairs and give me the most incredible massage. And, I knew that she was excellent at her craft. And we, I've been able to watch over the last 5 years and see her business grow in this, like, very I really feel like I'm gonna throw out a whole bunch of jargon, like, authentic and organic way, but that's exactly who you are. But my question is, like, you mentioned before, it took you a few years to start seeking out that more objective feedback or reaching outside of your friends and family. Was there like an event that happened or a turning point where you thought, "You know what? I'm shortchanging myself by not reaching out beyond my friends and family."
Hmm. It was not one particular moment that I can recall. It was the the weight I started to feel over time.
Hmm.
And there just becomes a time when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and it's time to level up
Yeah.
and call on someone new to support you.
Mhm.
So, I had a business coach when I began. I took I I took all the value I could from her. A lot of what she said just went against what my inner self was saying. It was just really uncomfortable, really hitting some edges.
Like what? Can you give us some examples?
Like, oh yes, let me share. Let me think. Let me rewind my life a little bit. Um, well, uh, she's a very successful business coach, and I bow down. She has done amazing work helping massage therapists build their thriving practices. Um, and the softness, the heart, the more approachable people skill type vibe, I didn't really see that, and that was really hard for me because
Mhm.
at in my early days, I was coming from a place of all heart, all emotions, not the most regulated, hella anxious, had some
Mm.
depression just kind of floating around as well. So mentally, I wasn't so grounded and solid, and
Yeah.
so it was a very vulnerable place back in 2019 when I started my business. And I wanted a little bit more softness and a little bit more support, and especially support of just like, how do I take care of myself in the midst of all
Mhm.
this? Because I'm a brand new little baby,
Yes,
and
that's right.
like
I
not just
am
my
the
business,
baby.
I am baby.
Yes,
Yes,
because your business is personal. I mean, it's part of my
exactly.
motto. Your business is personal. I am baby.
Yeah, yeah. So she would encourage us to just kind of be hard, like kind of edge up, like
Mm.
just kind of be a little bit more sharp in a way
Mhm.
um reaching out to folks in the community, making connections. It was just kind of more pushy, not as heart centered as
Mm.
I really wanted, and I didn't know how to ask for it either at
Yeah.
that time. I'm sure if I brought that up, perhaps things would change and I would have had a
Yeah.
better experience with that particular time.
Yeah.
But man, that was a toughie, and just the yeah, and it was just very masculine, very yang, of like the yin and yang. It's like it's just
Uh-huh.
very like go, take care of business, don't stop, rest, rest later. It was just a
Yeah.
very yeah, very very harsh, very just yeah, a little bumpy. Yeah, the
Yeah.
tension was definitely
Little
felt there.
bumpy.
A little bumpy.
So,
Yeah.
I guess, like, if somebody is listening and they are, pretty new to their business and maybe they're looking for a business coach or a community, like, in retrospect, what are the things you might tell them to look for?
Mhm.
Like, what would you look for if you were talking to baby Courtney? But don't do it
Yeah.
in a baby voice
Ye
because I
oh,
will edit
please.
that out.
No,
Yeah,
thank you.
mm-mm.
Nope, we're all set on that. I I would emphasize to really be kind to yourself. Little baby
Mhm,
Courtney, please be kinder to yourself. Please be more gentle. Rest when you need, while also understanding the importance of making money and connecting with new people that you don't know. Being vulnerable, putting yourself out there. It's just a little baby learning how to walk. And so I would say, yeah, the compassion is key to just really talk to yourself like you would talk to a best friend. Because at that time, it's everything just feels like a mess. There's so much
mhm.
the to-do list is endless,
Yeah.
and it's the legal stuff of making sure everything is up to par, and it's the even like the softer things of decorating your space
Uh-huh.
and and branding and
Yep.
and creating your business to be an extension of yourself rather than this societal expectation or another person's expectation or just some made up thing
Mhm.
that doesn't feel that it's not sitting right with you. Listen to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's the intuitive side of growing a business that I was not as in tune with in my
Mm.
early years.
That's really important, and, you know, when you're just starting out, you think everybody knows the right thing to do because everybody must have it all figured out, and so the advice that they're giving me must be right, and so I'm going to take everybody's advice. I
Mhm.
mean, that's a major oversimplification, but
And everybody's very
certainly.
convincing. Everybody's very
And
convincing
yes,
in what they have
everybody's
to
very
share.
convincing and not at all self-serving.
Right, right,
But,
like, that's
like,
important to
how do
take a
you
look at. Right.
yeah, so, like, now how do you balance, like, making sure that you, honor that intuitive side of things and check in and say, "Oh, does this feel good?" Versus, receiving advice that may not be uh, how you're doing things, but they're going to be the steps you need to take in order to, move your business forward. Like, how do you bridge that gap?
Mm. I have really gotten to know myself under the surface in
Mm,
recent years. I've really taken the time um, to care for myself outside of work. So,
mm,
being a massage therapist, it used to be my whole personality. I didn't really want to talk about anything else. I didn't want to focus on anything else. I didn't have a motivation to do things I really enjoyed. It was just very like hustle, go, let's take care of business. And I put my own self as Courtney the person on the back burner. So I say making sure that you have time set aside, whether maybe it's not every day, but at least once or twice a week to do something for you or
yeah,
to take a new class and explore not related to your field or your business
yeah,
because we're all such beautiful, complex, yet simple beings in the world. And work is just one tiny facet
for sure.
of our whole being.
Yeah,
So to just take more time for you, putting work things on the shelf temporarily, knowing that you can always go back to the to-do list. You can always
Yeah.
go back to networking, and sometimes you just need a break. And so I've just really, really have taken a lot of time over the last few years recently to um, pour some awareness, pour some attention back into myself and to
Yeah.
grow as me, Courtney Gruth, human outside of work.
Human LLC.
And it's going great. Like,
Yeah.
I'm feeling more resourced and more
Yeah.
ready and focused to pour love into my business because I've already
Yes.
poured into my cup and I'm able to give, ideally, able to give from an overflowing cup rather than just running on empty or just never quite feeling totally full and calm and
Mhm.
capable.
I I love so many things that you just said, and I was taking some notes because I think, like, I definitely can fall into this trap, a little bit less so since becoming a mom because, like, that automatically sort of, trumps any other identity that you may have assumed in the past, but I think that, like, in our society, there's this sense of martyrdom of, well, I just need to work harder and harder and harder and harder, and that is the measure of my commitment to my business. And along with that is like assuming that your identity is as your business. And I for sure fell into that trap with the gym and felt like, but if there is any moment that I'm not eating, breathing, sleeping, my gym, something will slip through the cracks. Now that could have been, just anxiety and
Mhm.
absolute um, control freak syndrome coming to light.
And
But
we love and appreciate her too because she has a purpose, but
she
it's like
gets things
but
done
it's like wearing burnout, as a gold star
as a badge.
badge.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
very
Yes.
silly. It's very
It's
silly.
quite silly. Well, and among other words, but I've
Yes.
chosen not to have explicit content in this podcast.
Ooh, family friendly. Mm,
I
love it.
mostly because I don't know that there's a huge place for it. But piggybacking a little bit more on the idea of self-care, and it is really hard to lump that into the same category as, well, my marketing plan, I've got the long game, and my business plan and my financials, I'm looking at the sort of long-term goals and sustainability. Well, guess what? So is your self-care plan because that, as you said, gives you the energy and the bandwidth and the capacity to be able to, you know, really like cultivate and nurture your business without feeling just totally burnt out.
Right. Right. And oh, how it can fluctuate depending on the season, depending on the month, depending on the day.
Yeah.
Um, but just to always have these basic things to return to, it's just back to basics time and time again.
Hmm.
It's so simple. I was talking to a client this morning about simple practices that we forget all the time, and it's just making the space to be aware of ourselves.
Hmm.
As a specific example, getting out of the shower and rubbing lotion on your arms, you can do that at half speed that you usually do. And while you're doing that, you can just say, "Oh, thank you, arms. Like, you guys are so strong and you're full of life and muscles and fascia, and there's just so much here. Like, thank you." And so it's like, it's gratitude. It's just all
Hmm.
it's bringing more gratitude in and just more presence with yourself, which
Hmm.
will help you be present with others, and that's the
Yeah.
point. That's truly the
Yeah.
point, so you can be in
Especially
service. Yeah.
absolutely when you're in a service-based industry or any business where you have employees or clients. I mean, like if you can't be super comfortable in your own skin and grateful for all the things you do have, then it's going to be hard to shake that negativity right
Mm,
off.
amen.
Amen. Well, I wanted to talk about how when you came. Okay, so I ran a 6-month, cohort for business owners here in Denver called Ignite, and, the reason that I asked Courtney specifically to come on and talk about this topic is because Courtney entered into my Ignite program and she had I won't speak for you. I feel like there was a major evolution that happened throughout the course of the 6 months that was a direct result of your willingness to be open-minded to objective feedback. So, I would love.
Aw, that's so nice.
Yes, really, it was like you came in with like, I think I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna hire an employee. I think I'm gonna, start a mentorship program." And they're all great ideas,
Mhm.
but you actually asked for feedback and took it in and then decided what the right next best step was in a very informed way. So I'd
Yeah.
love if you could just talk about that.
Well, remember when we first got coffee before the program began?
Yes.
And I remember I was like, "Ooh, we're teetering on this line, on this tightrope of, like, client therapist, coach and student, and we're friends, and so it's like, ooh, like, this is gonna be interesting, like, let's see how this goes," because I need to just be quite frank and honest, and I just started crying, and I was like, "Les, like, I'm burnt out." And I
Yes.
need help. Like, I'm so burnt. I am just toasted. I'm blown. I am just doing too much all the time. And so when coming into the program, I had it was more of like an information gathering moment for me because I did not need more clients. I did not need to focus on my brand. Like those things were solid and felt really
Mhm.
confident and good in those. But I needed to see how can I thought I needed to add more, do something
Mhm.
more. I thought I needed to hire my first employee or independent contractor. I thought I really wanted to well, I've always had this desire and I know it will happen more organically in time. Um, but I felt like a kind of a rush to start a mentorship program, and then maybe
Mhm.
that person could turn into my employee. It's like, "Oh, do I need to rent another office room down the hall in my building and get that all set up?" And then as soon as I set up all that furniture and all those supplies and equipment, then I will have the space to hire the person and do the things. And do I need to start a blog? Do I need to start a
Yep.
podcast? What do I need to do? Oh my god, it was so much. And all of those big ideas were more of me continuing to get in my own way, I realized. Where, like,
Mm.
I am doing this thing again. Hi, hello, I'm doing this thing again where I'm adding more to my plate instead of simplifying. So, one of the biggest learnings from the program was giving myself permission
Permission.
giving myself the
Mhm.
permission
Mhm. All the
to
permish.
to simplify, because what was my problem? I was I was overextending myself, saying yes too much. I
Mhm.
was going outside of my boundaries, and then I felt the resentment bubbles come on up in my system, and I was like, "Ooh, like, this does not feel very good. Oh, no, no, no." I'm like, "We can't have that. We can't have resentment." Oh my gosh.
No,
A
no.
little bit's healthy because then it helps you get back on track.
Sure, sure. I suppose we have perspective in there.
Sure, yeah, bird's eye view, 30,000 feet
Yeah,
above.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right. But I truly could feel through the months of the program a little bit more of I could feel a little bit more of myself after within each meeting, after each meeting, especially meeting with other people in the cohort when we were just doing our little accountability check-ins.
Mhm.
Realizing, like, I actually don't have to do this. I don't have to hire someone right now. I'm clearly
Yeah.
not ready because it's stressful thinking about taking that on.
Mhm.
Um, and it is a desire, perhaps one day. I do have more of a desire to mentor people in
Mm.
general, just younger massage therapists or people who want a private practice. They don't have to be young, of course, just all ages.
Yeah.
And just share with them everything I know and just
Yeah.
tell them what's up and be real with them while also bringing in like that softness and that hype woman energy of like, you can do
Mhm.
this. I did it and you can do it. Just
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
So simplifying was a huge lesson. And I can believe it, and I also can't believe that it has taken me 6 years within in my business to feel that truly, like, it's okay. I don't have to do it all because I'm not
Mhm.
going to provide massage for every single human on the planet. So I get to get my business to work for me because I'm
Mhm.
just going to continue to be more present, be more capable, have more awareness, more presence with my people.
Yeah.
And like I said before a few minutes ago, like that's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we there's, like, sort of this, misperception, misunderstanding that the only way to grow a business is to scale in some way, and is to expand and add more and add more, and I think you bring up an excellent point that that is not everybody's way, and it doesn't need to be, and it's not appropriate, or it doesn't align with everybody, and but you allowed yourself not only the opportunity to receive that feedback, but to really sit with it and, like, give it proper rumination or percolation or I wanna go
Marination.
or marination or stagnation. Nope, not stagnation. Let's see. Anticipation. No.
Anti-stagnation.
There it is. That's what this episode's actually gonna be called, anti-stagnation. But yeah, to actually, truly sit with it and understand what is the right move forward for my business. And I would love to know, like, what was it about that particular environment? And like, if we're gonna maybe suggest how people can sort of seek out an environment like that for themselves, like
Yeah.
what what about that environment made it feel safe and like you were getting credible feedback from people, who really truly understood what you were going through or could offer something valuable.
This goes with saying that the group of people in that crew, everyone was so supportive, so kind, and just naturally just we all worked so well together and we were just so supportive.
Mhm.
But to answer your question, it's about being seen. These people could
Mm.
see you, especially with our roundtable discussions when one person had the floor to bring something forward that they're struggling with, or something important to share, or some obstacle. People would just see you and your essence and your
Mhm.
humanness, not just about business only, but sometimes they would say something. Sometimes the people in the group would give another suggestion that didn't have to do with business, but it's still related. And I'm trying to think of an
Mm.
example, but I'm trying to think of an example. But I
I know, I am too.
remember feeling that many times when
Mhm.
people were just so kind and gracious. Like, we were all
Yeah.
talking to each other like we were all best friends and just really
Yeah.
wanting the best and whatever success meant for the person, everybody was just gung ho. So it was so just the really supportive um, environment and deeper listening than just on the surface. Um,
Yeah.
and people could reflect back to you, like, look how far you've come, and like
Yeah.
look what you've already done, and you can keep going with this, or like
Mhm.
try to think about this problem from another angle, and they'd give that, and it was like, oh yeah, great.
Yeah.
And all it took was a 2-minute discussion. It was just
Mhm.
so efficient in that way. So it was
And
yeah,
I
very
think
flowy.
yeah, and I was just gonna add to that, that it helps when you are also surrounded by people who were willing to take feedback too. So it just,
Hmm.
like, increased the trust among the group.
Right, we were all on the same page,
Yeah, all
all
there to grow.
all there to grow, and everyone was excited to grow and learn new
Totally.
things. Yeah, yeah, to be in a
Yeah.
group where there's something blocking, like someone's not fully there, um,
Yep.
that could get tricky, and I felt that
Mhm.
with another networking group I did in the past where I was like, "Everyone's all just on their phone and just not
Mm.
here." I'm like, "Alright, like, what's the point? What's the point if we're not paying
Yeah.
attention and being aware of
Yeah.
each other?" And
Yeah.
could not agree
Mm,
more.
mm, mm,
Snaps to
mm,
that,
mm.
Les. Snaps to that.
Snaps. Snaps all around.
I Well,
Yeah, go
actually,
ahead.
I wanna answer a question from way before with our
Sure.
Hey Coach caller.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we touched on it much. How do you find those people that you can confide in for solicited advice that will be more your speed when it comes to, you know, business life? Starts with your village, any neighbors that you know, any close to your friends that you know, family members, asking them, do they know anyone who is an entrepreneur? And just starting
Mhm.
there with these organic, already made connections, because there is just nothing better than word of mouth. Let me tell you that. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's nothing better. It just feels so. It just feels so right.
Yes.
None.
And
Yeah,
easy, like,
easy.
"Oh, I just had to do what I do."
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
And then I feel like that's kinda like stage 1, like,
Mhm.
see what's up with these humans just around you geographically,
Mhm. Mhm.
and, um, social media is a tool. Yeah,
Yeah.
a quick search of, for instance, like, I search all the time massage therapy mentor, and I love to get on
Mm.
there and just see what other mentoring people have to say about mentoring other people.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, so Instagram, the TikTok's a thing, Facebook is a thing, and a good old fashioned Google search as well of just searching
Mhm.
for groups in your area, searching for chamber of commerce shenanigans. Gosh, there's just so much out there that it's quite
Yeah.
daunting. But to start
Right.
organically with just people you already know for
Yeah.
comfort, support, connections, yeah,
Yeah.
that's always my favorite thing to do. Yeah.
Agreed, I agree, and so if someone were to, want to find the best business coach for them, what are a few key things you think they should look for?
There's so many different kinds of coaching out there. There's relationship
Yeah.
coaches, business coaches, nutritional coaches, all these things. So to just get focused in on what do you want to work on? Do you want to work on building your business, or do you need a personal trainer or fitness coach to help you with the physical parts of your
Mhm.
life? Do you need a professional organizer to help you get things in out of disarray and more aligned in your home? Like things like that.
Yeah.
So there's just so many different kinds of people to call on, and everyone's just ready to help too.
Yeah.
So to when you look around for coaches, just to looking for someone who feels just ready to help and who has the capacity, that's number 1, because if they aren't taking new clients, if they're not if they it's seeing their website or hearing what people have to say to them doesn't light you up at least, like, 10%, and there's just "Oh, like, yes." There's gotta be just, like, a yes feeling when looking for a coach. I think their background will tell a lot as well, because
Yep.
coaches usually aren't coaches right out of the gate after high school or after college. They're usually people who have had experiences with building a business or, all these different categories. They've had real life time to
Mhm.
go through these things. So someone who has had experiences in the
Yep.
field that you're wanting to learn from,
Yep.
that person is definitely worth their chops if they've
Yeah.
been in the trenches themselves. So personal experience I look for sure.
Well, Courtney, thank you so much for joining me today. I mean, I feel like we could talk for hours, and then I go silent in our massages. So I'm glad we had the chance to do it today.
I
And you
love it.
can check out Courtney's Instagram at Recenter Denver. And as I mentioned, that and a link to her website where you can book your craniosacral experience
Yes.
if you're in the Denver area. That will all be in the show notes. And I'll mention this again later, but we'll make sure there's a link to your website in the show notes so people in the Denver area can book and be one of your guinea pigs
I would
um,
love that.
to experience the craniosacral um, therapy with you?
At this time, I have about 150 more practice sessions to go, so goody
Oh
goody.
boy, people get on
Goody
it.
goody. For
Yes.
local Denver people, that would be so stellar if anyone feels interested
Yeah.
in knowing themselves a little bit more in a
Maybe I'll do it
oh,
and I'll come back on and talk about my experience.
I think that is a fantastic idea. That'd be
Mm,
cool.
okay. Okay. We'll
Okay.
come back
Yeah,
to
we'll
that. We'll
circle
come back
back.
to that.
I'll come. Yeah.
We start each episode with our Hey Coach segment, and we end each episode by asking my guest this question. So, on the podcast, we talk a lot about how entrepreneurship is basically a workout. What is one business strength or habit you wish you had developed earlier in your career?
The main thing that's coming to my mind is it's kinda silly because it's what we've been talking about. It's not
Yeah.
silly, it's real. It's the importance of self-care and just feeling regulated when you go into a conversation with someone new or you're about to enter a room with a group of people at a networking event and you're freaking the freak out, and it's simple things that I've learned over the years, and especially in my craniosacral program now, of just simple ways to bring yourself down from feeling
Mhm.
super jazzed. Um,
Yeah.
and God, I mean, I'll just show you this technique that if
Sure.
someone showed this to me when I started my business, I would have much less urgency. I would have much less stress and a little bit more
Mhm.
trust that things are going to work out, things are going to be okay. So let me bring my
Mhm.
camera down. So it's using your right hand over your heart, and you can tuck it in your
Mhm.
armpit a little bit so it's just nice and secure. And then bringing your
It's a little Mary Catherine Gallagher.
superstar, and then bringing your left arm around and giving yourself a hug and just
Mhm.
seeing
Mm.
what
Cozy.
yeah, cozy, exactly, and just
Mhm.
seeing what happens when you're in this. So, for instance, with previous networking groups, if I could just sit in my car and put on a song I love or just be in the quiet
Hmm.
and just sit with myself and breathe and just feel myself hugging myself, there's this like
Yeah.
sense of control that comes up. There's like a sense of containment, a sense of like, I got me.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
more it's like yeah, it's not very businessy, but
Yeah. That's okay.
it will support the businessy things of like, all right, like I am here, I am Courtney Greff and I got me and I will get through this meeting, I will get through this time, I will get through this coffee, I will get through this day to
Yep.
just be like, okay, like I'm here, I'm doing the things and I'm doing a great job.
Oh, I love that, and I have to say, like, physically, I feel like my chest really opens in this position.
Isn't that funny that your chest opens
It's
when you are kind of
when
closed in with
you're, like,
yourself?
crunching up.
When you're
Yeah.
closed in with yourself,
Yeah.
something does open and soften and just
Huh.
gives way a little bit for just more space. It's
Yeah.
more space, basically.
More space.
More spaciousness, supporting the
Hmm.
spaciousness within your business. I don't think anyone ever talked about spaciousness within your
Mhm.
own body and in your own heart
Yep.
when I started no coach, no podcast, no book really hit that.
Yeah.
And
But you're
that's
it's
it's
crucial.
crucial to just
Mhm.
pause.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure and joy to be here with you. Oh.
Ah. All right, well, if you've enjoyed today's episode, subscribe, leave a review, and submit your Hey Coach questions to me at Leslie at thefitnessofbusiness.com. See you next time.
Bye.